All right, guys, we're going to go over homework 19A and B. I'm going to pick the even numbers, and we'll go through most of them. If we don't get to all of them, then we'll find a time when we have a chance where we can go over them. All right, so this section was dealing with graphing by using the intercepts, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept occurs when y equals 0. The y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. So when I'm on the x-axis, y is 0. When I'm on the y-axis, x is 0. So we'll start with number 4. So let's go down and I'm going to show all my work. They don't want us to graph this yet. Later on they do. And again, before I get going, I'm doing the evens, and you guys can check your odd answers in the back of the book. Okay, so first what I want to do is I want to let's let y equal 0. Find out what we get when I let y equal 0. I get 5x minus 0 equals 35. Divide both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. X equals 7. So there's our answer. Now over here, I'm going to let x equal 0. Again, anything times 0 is 0, so I'm left with negative y equals 35. How do I undo multiplying? That's understood to be a negative 1. We have to divide both sides by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. Y equals negative 35. So there are a couple ways to write this. Our two intercepts, x equals 7, that's our x-intercept. Y equals negative 35, that's our y-intercept. Some of you are even writing the points out, 7, 0. And then this is x is 0 when y is negative 35. Okay, let's move over to number 6. Same thing. Let's find the x-intercept, and I'll write this one out, which is when y equals 0. So when I let y equal 0, that's 9 times 0 is going to be 0. So what am I left with? Negative 3x equals negative 18. Now this is a problem that we did about a month ago, where we just solve for x by undoing multiplication, divide both sides by negative 3, x equals 6. Okay, and again, negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. Negative 18 divided by negative 3 is positive 6. Now let's find our y-intercept, where x equals 0. Again, negative 3 times 0 is 0, so that's gone. So what am I left with? 9y equals negative 18. Divide both sides by 9. Y equals negative 2. So y equals negative 2 is our y-intercept. Okay, let's keep going with number 8 and 10. Number 8, same thing. We're going to keep doing the same thing every time. We're going to let x equal 0, and we're going to let y equal 0. So we'll start with x equals 0 this time, which is the y-intercept. It doesn't matter which one you pick first. And I'll write that down, y-intercept. And hopefully some of you guys got to the graphing parts where, again, once you get to 2 points, you plot those 2 points and you get the line. We're not doing that yet. But so when x equals 0, 2 times 0 is 0. So y equals 10. So that's my y-intercept. Let's find the x-intercept, which is when y equals 0. Y equals 0, so I'm left with everything else. 2x equals 10. Now I just solve this for x. Divide both sides by 2, x equals 5. And again, these are each separate points. This point is 0, 10. This point is 5, 0. Okay, we need those 2 points. This is the y-intercept. This is our x-intercept. Okay, let's go to number 10. We'll go back to the x-intercept. Let's find the x-intercept. Where does that occur? That occurs when y equals 0. So when y equals 0, this whole part's going to be gone. That's going to be 0. I'm left with 3x equal to 6. Undo multiplication by division. So we divide both sides by 3. X equals 2. Okay, notice I'm showing all my work, circling my answer, and ideally we're starting to put points down. They don't necessarily ask for this, but you put the point down so when we do get to graphing. Okay, now we have y-intercept, which is when the x equals 0. X equals 0, 3 times 0 is 0, so what am I left with? I'm left with 0.5y equal to 6. How do I undo multiplying by 0.5? I divide by 0.5. So if I do to one side, I have to do the other. 0.5 divided by 0.5 is 1. Now this is 6 divided by 0.5, which is the same as 6 divided by 1/2, which is the same as 6 times 2. Okay, that's not 6 divided by 2, that's 6 divided by 0.5, which again is 1/2. So this point is 0, 12. So those 2 points would be the points later on that I would plot to be able to graph the line. Okay, hopefully we're doing all right on these. Let's keep going on number 12. Let's find the x-intercept, which is when y equals 0. Substitute in y. Now, this can be a little bit confusing because now x and y weren't on the same side. And so now I have y equals 2x plus 24. Well, I want to solve this for x. So remember what we learned earlier this year, that to get x by itself, I have to get all the numbers on the other side. So all the variables on one side, all the numbers on the other. So let's undo adding 24 by subtracting 24. That goes to 0. So now I have negative 24 equals 2x. Now I want to undo multiplying by 2 to get the x by itself. Well, how do I undo multiplying by 2? That's dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And now take my calculator. Negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. Again, so this intercept is negative 12, 0. Okay, and then to finish this problem, I now still need to find the y-intercept. So we're doing the same thing over and over again, one time letting x equal 0, one time letting y equal 0. This one's going to be a little bit quicker. 2 times 0 is 0, so what am I left with? Y equals 24. Yeah, it's supposed to be equals. And what's this point? It's 0, 24. Okay, so there's our two intercepts. All right, let's keep working here. Let's go to number 14, same thing. So y equals 0. Y equals 0, I get 0 equal to negative 4.8 x plus 1.2. I want to solve this for x, so I need to get rid of the number. We subtract negative 1.2 from each side. That goes to 0. Negative 1.2 equals negative 4.8x. Okay, now I'm going to get x by itself. I'm going to undo multiplication by division. Negative 4.8 being divided on both sides. Those cancel out, and that ends up being 1/4, or I'll write it as a decimal, 0.25. So this intercept is 0.25, 0, and now we're going to let x equals 0, which is our y-intercept, and now that's going to be y equals negative 4.8 times 0, 0, y equals 1.2. So one of them takes a little bit more work. The other one's pretty quick. The y-intercept's pretty fine, quick to fast. Quick to find, excuse me. So this point is 0, 1.2. Okay, there's our two intercepts. Okay, for number 16 to 26, we want to graph the equation, and we want to label the points where the line crosses the axes. So those are the intercepts. So let's first find the x-intercept, which is when y equals 0. So I have to do the same math that I did before. And the y-intercept when x equals 0. But then at the end, I'm going to have to graph these, and I might need to put another graph in here. We'll see. Let's see how much room I have. Okay, so let's let y equals 0. 0 equals x plus 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. That goes to 0. Negative 3 equals x. So our first point is negative 3, 0. And now when I let x equals 0, I get y equals 3. So this point is 0, 3. So now let's graph this. Okay, and let's plot these points. Negative 3, 0. There's negative 1. There's negative 2. There's negative 3. Plot that point. 0, 3 is going to go up. 1, 2, 3. And now we connect this line. And I think I have a line here. There you go, right through those 2 points. And I should go back and label. They ask us to label, so on your homework, you should write this point as 0, 3. I know I have them listed right above. And this is negative 3, 0. So we're done. Okay, number 18, same exact thing. So let's find the x-intercept, which is when y equals 0. 0 equals 4x minus 8. Let's solve this for x. Undo subtracting 8 by adding 8. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. 8 equals 4x. Now we're going to undo multiplication by division. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals 2. So this point is 2, 0. Okay, let's find the next one. We want to find the y-intercept. Again, same pattern over and over again. Let x equal 0, let y equal 0. Or let y equal 0, then let x equal 0. But same process. Y equals 4 times 0 is 0, so y equals -8. We're done. This point is 0, -8. So there's our two intercepts. So they want us to graph this. See if I can make this graph big enough. So now, my first point is 2, 0. 1, 2. My next point is -8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's use a line here. And I need to connect those 2 points. There you go. There's my line. And they did say, let's label these 2 points. 0, -8, and 2, 0. Okay, so hopefully we're getting the hang of it. Let's do a couple more. We'll do 20, 22, 24, and 26. Again, same way. These are all linear equations, and we're trying to find the intercepts. So what do? We let x equal 0. So this one's going to be y equals -2, because 8 times 0 is 0. Again, x is 0, y is -2. That is 1 point. Okay, sometimes we get confused and we just say that's the y-coordinate and then the other one's going to be the x-coordinate. That's not correct. So we have 2 separate points we're trying to find. That was the y-intercept. Now we're trying to find the x-intercept. So when y equals 0, I have 0 equals -2 plus 8x. I got to get x by itself, so we have to undo subtracting 2. How do we do that? By adding 2 to both sides. 2 equals 8x. Continue to work to get x by itself. Undo multiplication by division. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. X equals 1/4. Okay, so this point is 1/4, 0. So let's plot these points. Oh, that's not very straight. I apologize. Obviously, you guys will be doing these on graph paper. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1/4, 0 is going to be in here, fourth of the way between 0 and 1. -2 is going to be right there. And so now we're going to connect those 2 points. Let's come back here. Label the points because they do ask us to label. So this is 1/4, 0, and down here is 0, -2. And we're done. Okay, let's go to number 22. Once again, we're getting a little better at these. X equals 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So we're left with y equals 15. We like how that works. Nice and quick. What point is this? 0, 15. How do I know that? I made x equals 0, and now y equals 15. So that's our point. So then let y equal 0. So I get 3x equals 15. Solve for x. Undo multiplication by division. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. X equals 5. So this point is 5, 0. Let's make our graph a little bit better. So we're going to go up by, we'll go 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, there's 5, 0 right there. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're going to go up this one by 3. So those go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I apologize. And we can do that as long as it's consistent with that within each axis. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these go by 1s. Okay, and now let's connect the point. Excuse me, connect the 2 points. And there's our line. And they asked us to label the intercepts. So this point right here, the x-intercept is 5, 0. The y-intercept is 0, 15. Okay? Same process over and over again. Let x equal 0, let y equal 0. Solve for the other values. You get, excuse me, I think I cut myself off on 22. Label the x-intercept, which is where it crosses the x-axis, which is when y equals 0. Find the y-intercept, which is where it crosses the y-axis when x equals 0. plot those 2 points, connect them. That's our line. Okay, and that's what we're doing over and over again. All right, last two. X equals 0. 8 times 0 is 0. Negative 5y equals 80. Undo multiplication by division. Y equals negative 16. Okay, what point is that? That is 0, negative 16. That is our y-intercept. Now let's find our x-intercept. When y equals 0, 5 times 0 is 0. So we're left with 8x equals 80. Undo multiplication by division. We get x equals 10. So our point is 10, 0. So let's now graph these. Okay, I'm going to go by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and that's negative 8, negative 10, negative 12, negative 14, negative 16. Okay, I did not give myself enough room. Okay, but we can still make those points there. So this is 10, 0. Way down here. Sorry, that is negative 0, excuse me, 0, negative 16. Let's connect those with this line. There we go. Okay, last one. X equals 0. 3y equals 9. Divide both sides by 3. Y equals 3. Y equals 0. So when y equals 0, I get 0.5x equals 9. We're going to divide both sides by 0.5. That's dividing by 1/2. That's different than dividing by 2. Dividing by 2 cuts it in half. Dividing by 1/2 actually doubles it. So those get canceled out. So I get x equals 18. Okay, so this point is 0, 3. This point is 18, 0. Let's graph these. 18, 0. I'm going to go up by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And then these will go, I can go up by 3 here. So it's 3, 6, 9. Okay. Doesn't matter what I go up by. So I have 0, 3 is right here. 18, 0, that's way over here. And then let's connect these. Let me fix that line. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that's graphing using the intercept. Same process over and over again. Let x equal 0, that's the y-intercept. Let y equal 0, that's the x-intercept. Thank you. Hope that helped.